Hey, and good afternoon. This is Angela Brown, and I'm here today with James Copeland. And I am super excited about today's show because we've got so many interesting things happening today. James is the Director of Technical Services at Prism Specialties, and he's going to help us unpack appliances and how to keep them clean and how to make sure that they're in working order. Now, this is a really, really interesting niche, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to hear from a specialist about appliances because I get a lot of questions and we do it the best we can as cleaners, but from somebody who has the technical know-how, that's a whole different ballgame. So please help me welcome James Copeland. Yay. I'm so glad you're
Well,
here today.
thank you. I'm glad to be here.
I think one of the things that we need to really pay attention to when it comes to the oven, and I want to go back for a minute to something that James just said. When we talk about the self-cleaning oven, because I get this question at least 10 times a week. The self-cleaning oven is a feature that a lot of people like because it is available, but just because it is available does not mean it's the best way that you should clean your oven. And there are people who have at one time used a chemical spray like an Easy Off or something like that to clean the oven. And now they want to try to use the self-cleaning oven. And what James just said, and I want to really pay attention to this, if at one point you added extra chemicals and now you're heating it up to the 900 or 1000 degrees and it's just like overkill, what has happened now is those chemicals that you once used to spray to clean the oven are now heating up so hot that you better get out of the house if you're going to do it. And I don't recommend doing the self cleaning oven if you're not physically on the property because I have been in homes where the homes have caught fire. And something that they don't tell you in pretty much anywhere is if you use a self-cleaning oven and the cupboard does catch fire, the self-cleaning oven will say ventilate, right? Open all the airs and windows. But if you have a fire that starts, oxygen fuels a fire. And so you need the windows closed if there's a fire because you don't want it to feed the fire, right? So if the oven is too hot and it catches fire and you have the windows open, thank you for ventilation. Bad for ventilation because now the rest of your house is going to catch fire. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. It doesn't make any sense. And I've been in neighborhoods where there were 5 homes. I was cleaning a home when I caught somebody's stove on fire. The oven caught fire because she did the self cleaning oven. I was on the premise when it happened. And there were 5 neighbors that came over and go, "Oh, that happened to so and so through the block." There were 5 homes in the neighborhood that had caught fire because the builder built in the cabinets where they put the oven inside the cabinet. And too close, and it just caught oven fires. And so it's not that the builder was negligent. Maybe they didn't know that the ovens were going to heat up that hot, but it was a common thing. And so we started sending out memos to everyone saying, "Hey, listen, please do not use your self cleaning oven. Please do not." And so I just want you to be aware if you do. There are people that have used it successfully and they love it, and that's great. But please be aware there are issues. And if you are a professional house cleaner, you do not want to find yourself in a situation where you just burn down a customer. I promise you that from experience.
That's a great point. And so one thing I want to add is like anytime you self clean, you got to pull the racks. They say you can leave the porcelain in there, but it'll discolor your racks and then they won't fit right. But
Mhm.
here's what it is to your point of, hey, I do it. I did this and I didn't have any problem. Well, there's a thing called pyrolysis, and pyrolysis in the fire world is what causes flashovers and everything. It's just decay of the materials. So if you use the self clean and it's in a cabinet like that, may not happen right then, but that heat is changing the combustibility, all the materials that are around it through pyrolysis. It just continually gets hot and hotter and hotter, and it starts to heat out the natural oils in there till one day it happens. So it's a lot like playing Frogger. You may get across up to level 3, but level 4, they got you.
Well, and it's also the fumes. Like I said, if you use a spray and then you try to use the self cleaning oven, those fumes become so incredibly toxic that you cannot stay in the house. And they do say, get your birds out of the house, get your birds, your cats, your dogs, get everybody out of the house and people too. I had a gentleman call me one time and he was in a panic and he said, "My house stinks really, really bad. And the fumes are so bad. It's burning our throats. What do we do?" And I said, "How did you get this way?" And he said, "Well, we just turned on the self-cleaning oven, but we have always used the spray instead." And I said, "Get out of the house. Open your windows and get out of the house. Just get out of the house. Turn off the breaker. Make sure that you turn it off so that you can stop the process. Get out of the house because whatever you're breathing right now already burning your lungs and your throat." Don't play dumb games. If you play dumb games, you win dumb prizes, as
That's
they say.
right. That's right.
Our time is up, and I knew this would happen. I have learned so much. This has been so incredibly helpful. James, please tell our listeners where they can go to find you, learn more about you.
Absolutely. So my email, I'm always monitoring that. It's james.copeland@prismspecialties.com. Feel free to email me. As I said, I'm constantly monitoring it. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions you have. I'm happy to help the masses.
Well, thank you so much. And also, I'm going to leave links in the notes below to James' website as well as his email address. I really appreciate you guys joining us. And James, I appreciate your time and attention today. You have been immensely helpful as we move through the new year to take care of the appliances that we've invested so much in. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much for today.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you and happy new year to all of you as well.